All right, Richard Nikoley here. Two things. First of all, I'm trying out a new camera. This is a camera I bought on eBay recently, and I'm going to be using it in my future travel adventure travel, because I need optical zoom. See? Back off the pepper there a little bit. See, it's 40 times optical zoom, but it's still in like a point and shoot format. It's not like a big SLR or anything like that. So I'm going to some of the reviews say that the microphone isn't great, so we'll see how the audio is. Oops, sorry, I bumped the tripod. I have a friend online, Andy Curzon, an Englishman in the UK. He's sort of a private person, but we have this separate kind of video thing we do called Discussions. You can check that out. I'll drop a link in the description. But last time we did one, kind of just off the cuff, and had someone, and he had to go do something, so he said, "Hey, Richard, tell him how you make scrambled eggs." So how about I show you how I make? Well, it's not. I did say that I make scrambled eggs in many different ways, from hard and fast, because that's how some people like it. They like hard chunks of scrambled on toast and whatever. And there's everything in between, and there's sous vide, which is very difficult to do, and I've done it. There's bain-marie, and what I'm going to do today is a low and slow, which is basically a bain-marie. You use in that instance, you use a double boiler, so you're basically steaming the eggs, but I'm going to show you how to do it very low and slow, and what else do I need to say? So, okay. So I'm gonna do 4 eggs. I'm gonna do butter. No seasoning until it's done. So basically, so they will be done with butter and the eggs very on low heat and slowly until they're done. And then for seasonings, I'm going to use, of course, the ubiquitous salt and pepper. And a little bit of dill and a little bit of parsley. The dill is mostly for flavor. The parsley is more for presentation. And also some MSG. That's for the umami. MSG is a wonderful, wonderful thing if you use it sparingly. All right. I will be back. Okay, let's have some cooking fun now. Now the flame isn't even going yet. It's going to be very low and slow. So we're going to use 1, 2, 3, 4 pats of butter, a pat per egg, and we're not gonna whip these first. Actually, we're gonna do it like you don't need to. Put them in. It's a cold pan. Nothing's going on. Like this. Wait till you see the end result. But this takes patience and time. A lot of patience and a lot of time. It's like doing a risotto. Basically, that's the best analogy. If you're going to do a classic risotto, you're into 20 minutes of solid stirring work. All right, now we're going to put on the heat. We're going to go on low. Slow heat. Let me adjust here to focus in on the work. And now that I'm using a camera with zoom, I can kind of zoom into it a little bit there. All right, adjust the camera, right? I'm playing with the camera, all right, so I'm going to see how this works instead of using my iPhone, which works very good for this application. actually, as you may have seen from the other videos I've done. But this is mainly to piss off Andy. So let's see. Did I get a text? I sent him a text. Uh-oh, it failed to send. Oh well. He must be in Majorca or something. Menorca, I think, probably. It's probably what he's doing. So you see the butter's melting a bit. Let it sit for a while. That's just kind of pretty though, right? I'm not going to stir it up yet, but I will. So, see, patience. See, this is what starts you off on your road to patience, right here. It's just watching it. It's like, oh God, whip him, high hot pan and everything. We're starting off from 0 here. So you see a little bit of white. So the thing that is interesting about eggs is that half of the protein is in the whites, half of the protein of an egg is in the yolks. But they're different proteins, and they congeal, they get hard under heat at different temperatures. All right, so let me interrupt myself here. Starting to get some heat on. So now we're going to stir this all up. And I'm using a nonstick pan, and you see I'm using a you know, plastic or silicone spatula. All right. And this is where it starts. You really need to just keep stirring all the time, because what you are trying to achieve is something that is by virtue of the fact that the yolk and the whites have different proteins, and they harden or congeal at different temperatures, right? The whites congeal at a, I think it's a lower, I always get this wrong. It doesn't really matter. The fact is, this is why you can do fried and boiled, because that's how you get a white that's fully cooked and a yolk that's runny. But what if you want to mix them together, right? Well, if you do, you keep stirring, stirring and stirring. And in fact, I think this is going too high, so I'm going to put it on a lower burner over here, because I want them to go a while. So I'm going to turn that one off. Let me adjust the camera here a bit. I'm sorry, I'm playing with my camera, and so it's already zoomed in pretty well. Okay, so yeah, we're in for the long haul here. Keep stirring, and it is kind of a long video and it's kind of boring, but I'll try to talk and keep you entertained as I go. So what is it? I have to look this up. The point is more, it's more that there are different temperatures that the proteins in the whites and the yolks harden at under heat than it is which one is higher and lower, because they're different. So in other words, that's why you can do a boiled egg, because the heat comes in from the boiled water, and it passes through the white before it even gets to the yolk, right? So that's why you can do soft boiled, medium boiled, hard boiled, da 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 da. Try to do sous vide, which is a method where it's at one temperature, right? It's almost, you can do scrambled eggs with sous vide. Scrambled eggs, sous vide scrambled eggs are wonderful because you're doing this. You're mixing them up, and so you get, you end up with scrambled eggs that are sort of the consistency of cottage cheese. It's exactly like cottage cheese. It's like pudding. It's like egg pudding. So they're wonderful. But try to do a boiled egg sous vide. They're awful. They just don't work. You will get runny whites before you even get to a warm yolk, and I think that means that the whites congeal at a lower temperature than the yolks or something. It could be. All right. So you want to use a nonstick for something like this. Otherwise, it's going to stick to the pan even with the butter, and especially because you're not buttering and browning the butter first. The butter is part of the dish. You could actually add some, milk or half and half or even heavy cream to it, depending on what you want. I just use the butter. But you can keep it going like this and just keep it stirring, because you do not want, so this is taking less time than I thought, but it is, and you can keep going, so you can get them, you can take them off when you're ready. This is a little bit too liquid for me. Yeah, it tastes okay. It's kind of like, it's the consistency. It's not the taste or anything, but it's more the consistency. So, just keep working it like that, keep flipping it around. Now this is only 4. I would have done 6. But I actually only had 4 eggs in my fridge. Time to go to the market. I'm also out of milk, so, keep knocking them. Now those look beautiful, don't they? Right? They're not like big hard lumps of scrambled eggs like you get in a cafe. I think I'm getting very close here. Oh, time to put the toast on. And at this point I'm turning off the heat. So that's another thing. Eggs keep cooking. Alright, so, alright. That is done right there. So, move it over here. Plate it. Like this. And we're going to season with a little bit of salt. Not much. Little pepper. And my big favorite, MSG, monosodium glutamate. I'm going to not even use it. I'm just going to take a pinch of that. That's the umami right there. That's what everybody feigns reaction to, and it's mostly all bullshit. There's a lot of virtue signaling. Some dill. A pinch. Sorry. Yes, just a minute. And parsley. There we go. And I have someone at the door. There's the dish. I'm going to do the toast. And we'll be back.